right, welcome back to Blue Collar Homestead. Listen, we're doing something different today. You see this here wall with these pictures and stuff on it. Well, the thing is, we have all this cast iron cookware right now that is like shoved in the drawer underneath the stove, and it's kind of a pain to get in and out of there, and it's heavy, and I'm 6'3". I don't like getting on the floor. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take all these pictures down, and we're gonna put a giant slab of wood right here, and we're gonna put hooks and hang all the cast iron on here. The board's gonna end up being the same color as this door, but we have to go outside and stain it, put a clear coat on it, and then bring it in. So come along for the journey. All right, here's what we got. There's two of these, about 8 feet long. They should cover pretty much almost the whole distance of the wall. So I'm going to take these and hit them with the sander and get the sharp edges off of here and stuff. And then we're going to throw a coat of stain on them, throw a clear coat on them, and then stick them up on the wall. Can you deal with that? All right, we got the boards sanded, stained, put a little clear coat on them. Clear coat is important. What are you laughing at? Trent's in the background making weird faces at me like this.
I'm not.
Anyway, you have to put the clear coat on for sure because it's cast iron, and a lot of times after you use it, you'll wipe it out or whatever, or re-oil it before you store it. So if you don't clear coat the wood, some of the oil might soak in, you'll have a dark spot. So, what are you laughing at back there, huh? In a minute, I'm going to turn this camera around. You're going to see. All right, let me put down.
When you said that, I thought of just let your soul flow.
Coming to America, huh? Got to cover up the island. We're going to bring those long pieces of wood in here. We're going to set them on the island. And we're going to kind of lay everything out here to see how we want to lay this out. It'll be easier to do laying flat than after I stick it to the wall. Once I stick it to the wall, it's going to be a lot harder to move things around and see where you want things. At least we can lay it out here, lay it all flat, put the pieces where we want them, and make sure it all fits. So let me grab the pieces out of the garage right here. And there's one. These are about 8 feet long, which is pretty much the length of that wall. That wall's like 8'3" or something. So this will take up most of the wall. All right. This one's going to go on top. This is going to go together. Something like that. Yeah. All right, that clears. All right, so obviously we're going to put this on in 2 separate pieces. So I guess we got to really start and see what's going to go where. So let me grab these 2 things.
Oh, maybe the bell and the Okay, I'm jumping ahead.
Oh no, these paintings are going to go on here. These were from my grandmother's house. So I don't know. I'm just laying stuff out here. Feel free to jump in and move things around, whatever you want, Trent.
Well, I'm going to wipe them down.
Well, yeah, I'm just kind of throwing things out there to see what's going to land where type of deal, you know?
I kind of really want the, I really kind of want the bell in the middle.
You want the bell in the middle?
I think it would look nice in the middle, but I don't know.
Well, this is an old school bell. So
oh boy.
yeah, so you want to put that somewhere in the middle?
Yeah, maybe
like that?
Spoon.
With the spoon hanging next to it?
Maybe, because it kind of looks similar.
Got that thing there. Now don't forget we, wow, this thing's already filling up really quick.
I know, that's why I was like,
Some of these, maybe these paintings will have to go somewhere else. Or the bell or something you're gonna have to give because...
Well, these paintings have to find a place because this was your grandmother's.
Yeah, here's what we're gonna do. Let's put the bell and that right there. Leave the paintings where they're gonna be. Alright. These are these big cast iron pizza pans Trent Page got me for Christmas. Yes, we do make homemade pizza because the pizza here in West Tennessee is utterly horrible. Alright, so...
We're gonna forget my loaf pans.
Yeah, I'm just,
Wow.
You know what I'm thinking? This goes over there. Let's do this. Let's put the big one here. Then we'll put this one here. And then we have a little guy. This little guy. Go right there. Right there. And then the loaf pans. Alright, let's think about this. I could do the loaf pans side by side.
What about these guys? I don't know about that guy.
You don't know about that flat one?
Well, we have a cooktop, so it's not like,
Yeah, it's just decorative at this point. Put the square one here. Hang lid. I don't know, this lid right here might not work. No, it might. I'm just worried about when we open the door, it doesn't crash into the door and break the window, you know? That doesn't look too bad.
No, it doesn't.
You know what?
What if we, can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
What if we switch these guys? That way this does, I don't know.
Well, these stick out further than that. I'm looking at it from the door aspect. These I want to keep closer this way because
we use those more.
We use these two the most.
Yeah.
But the loaf pans we'll use once in a while. Yeah, that looks all right.
I'm okay with that, honestly.
I mean, we can scoot that around a little bit. It's kind of like that. I'm trying to think of that other piece there. Wow, it's amazing how fast this thing got filled up. That is absolutely crazy.
Wait.
What? We forget something?
I hope not.
Why? What are you looking for? What are you looking for?
But I mean, if we put a hook, if we put this on there, wouldn't the hook stick out far enough if we were to put it here and we would still be able to put the spoon on it?
Yeah. You know what? Give me that. Wipe that off. That one's kind of crusty looking. She's gonna wipe that off real quick. Yeah, you know what? That's a good idea. That one, when that one hangs, it's gonna hang on an angle.
Yeah, I gotta clean this.
It's gonna hang on an angle, so we might be able to put that there, and it's gonna kind of, because there's a hole here and a hole here. Okay. It's you know what I mean? It's the weight wise, it's gonna hang. It's gonna hang like that. You know, but
I don't want it.
It doesn't. You know, we can
put the bell up more, can't we?
Yeah, we can put the bell wherever we want. I mean,
I need it up higher.
You can put the bell right there, and then put this right here if you want. Or.
Wow, I can't believe how fast this filled up.
Yeah, that filled up pretty quick.
Underneath.
That's all gone. That's empty.
I know. I just said that we had most of that underneath.
This was the problem. A lot of this stuff was in that drawer under the stove.
That's supposed to be.
That drawer under the stove cannot handle this much weight. This has got to be well over 100 pounds of stuff. But.
Well, at least we can still keep Grandma's pictures up.
Yeah, everything's here. The old school bell. This old ladle's here. I don't know. Is this where you want to stick it?
I'm okay with all this, actually.
You're okay with all that?
Yeah.
All right. Here's what we're gonna do. Later we're gonna shut the camera off for a few minutes because you guys. I mean, I'm gonna mount all the hooks on here. Now let me kind of give you the lowdown on that real quick. I got all these hooks. These are just like $2 robe hooks from one of those. But they give you these tiny little screws that are like, I don't know, not even 3/4 of an inch long. But they're real tiny, fine thread screws. Cast iron's kind of heavy. And if I just use these little screws to put this hook in, I'm pretty confident at some point the cast iron will just rip the screw right out of the wood. So I'm going to put one screw in here and screw this to the wood with just one little screw. Then after I get these boards both mounted to the wall, I'm going to put a longer drywall screw in with a coarse thread. The reason I'm not doing that now is because the drywall screw is going to go through this piece of wood and I don't want to screw it into my American flag of my island. If it screws into the drywall after I got these up, I really don't care. I'm never going to see it again. So let's
Well, we could do a time lapse while you're putting the screws in.
yeah, we can do a time lapse. Well,
Just so they could see what you're doing.
yeah, we can do that real quick. So we'll be back after the time lapse is over. Now that's over with. The level here I just put on the bottom here, just kind of use it as a spacer to make sure when I hang this, everything's hanging at the same level on the bottom. And for the old school bell here, I ended up having to use spacers, and what these are actually is 1/2 inch copper couplings for doing a pipe for plumbing or whatever. But now I have to take all this stuff off except for the hooks, clean everything off that wall, and then mount these 2 boards up there and then run longer screws through all these hooks and then put everything back up. So why don't we get on that? This is it. What I'm going to do is take both of these boards and I'm going to put them flush with the edge of this wall. But I don't know if that wall is 100% plumb, so I'm going to throw, I might throw the bubble on that thing and take a look at it. But or as long as they both line up, it should be all right. Let me grab a piece of wood. Grab my impact. Let me grab the bottom piece. And you can notice these hooks, I did not put a whole ton of pressure on the screws. I didn't even tighten them all the way because I didn't know if they were going to go through and hit my island. So, all right, this. All right, I might need to wait until trim comes out here. I can put one screw in here and see how it goes. But there's always, in normal construction, a stud in the corner, on the outside corner, and on the inside corner. They're supposed to be. Alright, I'm going to put a screw right here. Alright, that one's in there pretty good. Now before I go nuts and screw this whole thing down, I'm going to throw the top piece up there and make sure it lines up on the edge and it's not hanging out past the wall. So let's see what that looks like. Grab this. This is going to go up here. Alright. Now this is just a test fit to make sure I'm not going to have any weird problem. Nope, that's actually perfect. And the school bell works. Every kid's worst nightmare.
I'm here for class.
They're here for class. Well, everybody here is for class. That's why they're watching this video. Alright, I got to finish putting screws on this one. For now, I just wanted to dry fit that and make sure it did what I needed it to do. So, we already know there's a screw on this outside edge, so we're going to add another one on the bottom here. Alright, now, give me that.
This?
That. We're going to attempt to use the stud finder. Let's see how it goes, right? I doubt I'm going to hit anything way down here because I got about 2 inches from the corner. Let's see what this thing is doing. Wow. There actually is something close to the edge. How about that? I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting for it to be like way over here somewhere. The center of it's right about there. So, what I'm going to do, instead of making a hole in here and missing, I'm actually going to run the screw into the drywall first. Like right about here. And I can tell I'm hitting something. So I know I can put this screw right here. Now if I put it there and miss something, now you got this hole in the wood that you can't do nothing with. So I'm just going to go like this. Stick this one down here. Beautiful. Now we're going to put one in the middle so this thing doesn't decide to do this and make a left turn, you know? That should be right about there. That's kind of centered, but not really. Close enough. Here you go, Trent. I feel like Tim Allen on Tool Time, right? Yep, definitely something there. So, all right, that one's in. We're going to come down here. Now you see it right there. I'll hit that with a little bit of stain and that'll go away. So 6 screws should be enough to hold that in without it going anywhere. Now I'm going to throw the top piece on.
So I would assume you would just follow the screws from below.
Right. Yeah, the screws that are below, it's the same spot on the upper ones.
I learn a lot with. I like watching them.
Tool Time. That does look pretty cool. All right.
It looks different.
Yeah, it'll take a minute to get used to it, but that'll be all right. Oh, that's 1 1/4 screw. How'd that get in there? That's too short. All right. Put this one here. All right, this one. Go way up here. Oh, it's kind of hard to do with that big way. All right. Oh!
If you ring that one more time.
I'll get used to it. Wait till the kids come over.
Paige, I'm going to have a conversation with her.
Well, like I said, that's every kid's worst nightmare. That and the snowplow.
Wow.
Yeah, so they can go to school.
Oh, yeah. We don't really have those down here, so.
No, it takes, when it snows here, it takes the plow guy like 4 days to get here. We don't live in town, so we live out in the country, and those are basically the last roads they do anything to.
Yeah.
Now, this is why I left all these loose. I'm using a way longer screw in these. Those tiny little screws that they give you with these hooks, I really didn't like for what I'm doing. So, we are using screws that are way longer with coarse threads. That way they don't get ripped out of the wood as easily. There we go. Definitely much better than the standard screws that these come with. There we go. Yeah, this is definitely better. So, I think you guys get the point of what exactly is going on here. Right, Trent? Whoops. Dropped one. Yeah, this will be cool when it's all done here in a few minutes.
I'm going to stop it for right now?
No, not yet. I mean,
No?
I got
Okay.
one more thing here is the whole reason for putting this wood up here is because if you put a bunch of these hooks up here and you start taking these cast iron pots and pans off the wall and putting them back, within a matter of a couple months, these walls would be destroyed. The drywall would have all kinds of gouges and nicks and holes and everything else, and it just...
Rubbing the paint off.
Oh yeah, it would look horrible. Now, the wood over time will get beat up. Yeah, sure, but that's kind of the look you're going for with the wood anyway. So, I'm going to finish this up, and then we'll bring you back and put everything back up here and let you see what it looks like. So, we'll be back in a few. All right. Everything is up and complete. I got longer screws in the bell. All the hooks got nice long screws in them. It should grab really well. Shouldn't have anything coming off. So, I guess without further ado, let's start putting stuff up, huh?
Grandma's pictures first.
Ah, yeah, I'll do Grandma's pictures first. Hold on a second. Get down there. There it is. All right, that goes right there. This one comes on the edge over here. All right, that looks good. All right, we're gonna do this one. It's gonna hang right here. This is actually a weight that goes with this. inside this pan. This guy's gonna hang right here.
Loaf pans?
Yeah, give me the loaf pans. Alright, the loaf pans are gonna hang right here. Gotta make sure you put these on the right way.
Pizza
Alright,
pan?
yeah, I need a pizza pan.
The other one I want to clean up before we put it up. You want me to
go there. I want to put it up here just
wanna
to
put it
see
up
how it
anyway?
hangs, because this one's not going to hang straight down. It's going to hang like on a 45. Just kind of want to make sure it all.
You want the spoon?
Yeah, give me the giant ladle. That'll go there. All right, now I need. Oh, here she comes.
Well, you're getting a pizza pan.
That goes back there. Whoa.
Oh my
My
god.
bad. It wasn't. You know what?
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine. I just didn't have it sitting on there right.
Okay.
The small one. One goes right here. Medium one goes here. And the big one. This is probably the one I use the most.
Yeah.
So, that being said, that's all up. The door clears everything, thankfully. I was worried about the door, like the glass hitting one of these, but it's fine.
And we kept Grandma's pictures up.
Yep. And we kept every kid's worst nightmare.
It's going to be our nightmare because, you know, Paige, every time she walks by, she's going to hit that thing.
Yeah, you're probably right. So, anyways, this is what we did with our cast iron stuff. Now, yeah, a lot of people have, you know, a pipe with a bunch of hooks hanging there and whatnot, but, you know, that would have stuck out off the wall more.
Well, do a
Yeah.
price comparison maybe. Like, how much did this cost with the hooks and the
Oh, this
wood
en- this
compared
ended-
to what the pipe would have been?
This ended up costing about $100
Okay.
for the wood and all the hooks and everything. I already had the stain and the clear and all that stuff, but honestly, it probably would have cost the difference. Probably isn't that much.
No.
No,
If
but I don't know if you'd be able to fit all this on one pipe coming across. You know
well,
what I mean?
that's the thing too. If we had the pipe, could we have kept just the drywall and everything, or
If you're putting cast iron anywhere near a wall, you'd probably want to have some kind of hard surface, because drywall, this stuff would destroy it.
okay,
In a year or two, you'd have nothing but dents and pits and gouges, and
yeah,
it would just look like an absolute mess.
it looks great. It really does.
So this is pretty much it for this video. So like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you on the next one.